Got reminded again of my old coworker who was a massive misogynist, but also trans inclusive. Told me he believed trans women are indeed women because only women would be stupid enough to want to be women. I wonder what he's doing now. I need to point out that he was completely serious, by the way. This man had no sense of humor if he tried. He was a cook at the restaurant slash bar I was a bartender at, and almost punched a customer once because he overheard him talking about how women belong in the kitchen. Told me he thought women should stay out of kitchens, that cooking is a man's job, and when I asked him what he thinks women should be doing, he went quiet for a moment, then proceeded to explain to me the following. I trust a bitch to run a kitchen as much as she can run a country. They should do shit like plumbing or electricity. Something you can just learn to do and don't need to lead. Apparently, women are good at fixing shit. He claimed that he doesn't trust male plumbers or electricians, except if they're gay, because something must be wrong with you if you want to go fix other people's houses. That's that maternal instinct. My last guy post, so I'm just going to drop the rest of his opinions I got from him during my time working there. I was the only one who asked for his thoughts, and he loved giving them. Plus, bonus fun facts. Women should obviously be allowed to vote because it's not fair they could get out of it like that. He got very mad at the idea, as if it was somehow an issue because women wanted to have it easy and be lazy. He believed watching porn is the same as getting cucked. When asked for further elaboration, he claimed that the best way to jerk off is like a fidget thing when you're doing something else, like watching football. It's not a big deal. I'm like 100% sure he might have been asexual because he was very vocal about not dating or having sex with women anymore. He tried it a few times and it was kinda gross and sweaty. People have to lie about how good it is or something. Also, said he wasn't gay because men made him feel nothing anyway. I've never met a man this angry in my life. He cooked with passion, but his passion was out of pure rage. He smoked like a chimney, but never in the kitchen. Let us steal snacks and desserts whenever he got angry at our boss. I've never learned his opinions on any racial issues because the moment someone would bring up race, he'd go on a rant about how much he hated that our race is called white because beige is also a color and he didn't get a tan just to still be called white. He had a rescue cat named Tomcat, or my language's word for a male cat, which was a girl when he got it, but he got her sterilized, and that meant she wasn't a girl anymore, apparently. Also, he claimed a girl cat wouldn't watch football with him, but he does, and that clearly just makes him an Enoch, or whatever that third thing is. Binarless, whatever. He said he lives off of fast food and takeout and beer because he had enough of cooking at work, and that the only reason he has pots and pans at home is to cook for Tomcat. He was convinced that processed cat food was the reason house cats got cancer. I'm pretty sure all he did in life was watch football, go to work, go to the gym, and learnt Ukrainian online because of our other cook was a Ukrainian woman who would often speak to her friends on the phone in Ukrainian, and he was convinced. He was so sure that they were talking shit about him. She told me that they indeed were. By the time I worked there, he's been learning it for about 10 months, and they would sometimes get in screaming matches with each other in a mix of Ukrainian and our language. They hated each other, but when her abusive ex came to talk to us, to talk to her, he'd yell at him until he left because apparently the guy owed him $40. A coworker once complained about a painful period, and he chimed in to say that if he were a woman, he'd just get pregnant to not have to deal with that. He was very convinced that pregnant women are treated better by society, and that if you Give the kid up for adoption, you get paid for it. When asked about how he'd deal with all the issues pregnancy can give you, he thought for a long moment and said that he doesn't even like beer that much and could probably give it up for that because he's not stupid enough to want a period. He was a pretty shitty person and unlikable, but honestly, I have to respect that type of hatred for the world that he carried. Also, fascinating opinions, and I am grateful I got to study him in his natural environment. This is such a line cook take. The most line cook coated man I've ever heard about, JFC. He is 100% in the correct profession. Apparently, this is a universal experience because, yeah, all of our cooks were out there, even if Guy was the most. It was a small restaurant slash bar. We only had 3 cooks, and they would sometimes work solo or all together if it was a busy day. No HR, and only our boss to complain to, who was he was nice, but gave us a lot of leeway as long as we made money and didn't have the cops called. We had Guy, the Ukrainian lady, and Big Guy, who was a 6'5" bear of a conspiracy theorist, and ignored me whenever I tried to talk to him because I wasn't a permanent employee. None of them got along. Our guy was scared of Big Guy. Big Guy didn't speak to him, except for the kitchen stuff. And they would both argue with, well, to the point of screaming, with a lady who was an ally, but she did have the spirit, would make us take shots during rush hour for courage. My throat burns. The arguments of theirs I remember best was them talking shit about an obviously trans woman whom none of them liked because she would order her salad weird. After she left, they all had the same negative opinion of her, but still almost got in a 3-way fist fight after the big guy called her a man offhandedly.
But he is a woman, big guy.
When have you ever seen a dude bitch about the leaves being too big? Which normal person would even notice that? She even left the skin on the salmon, and that was included. Why do I even bother crispying it if no one's gonna...
I don't care if it says it's a man or a woman. It's a bitch is what it is. You. Next time a freak asks for accommodations, you tell them no or someone spitting in it.
I'm pretty sure you meant freak as in freak who orders like that and not trans person, but you never know. The lady screamed at him that nobody is spitting in anyone's food in her kitchen. Guy got upset about her calling the kitchen hers and started yelling at her. She started yelling right back. Big Guy rolled his eyes and went to smoke in the woman's bathroom, a single toilet stall. And I had to go deal with customers who were trying to steal one of our tables outside, so I missed how it ended, but they both pulled me aside during the next week to complain about the other.